Okay, so today we'll be playing the Battle of Orsha, or at least what we're trying to do. The Russians have come round through the marshes, just like in history, and they are flanking and going to encircle Orsha. They actually took Orsha in one day, but we'll see how long we hold out this time. So they've got 3,000 points here. The map is pretty much an urban map. You'd realize that we have got 4 objectives. 1 in the first segment, 2 in the middle segment, and 1 in the very end of it. So all in all, we've got 4 objectives. It's a very simple, pretty much no retreat scenario. For every 2 platoons that the Germans lose, 1 will respawn in a friendly zone, depending on 24, 24, 24, and then they can come back on. And to counterbalance that, the Russians have got a sapper platoon, 15 man strong, which does pretty much the same thing, but within 6 inches of an allied objective at all points, an objective that they have captured or their deployment zone. So that's pretty much what we're doing today. You can see the city of Orsha. Churches, of which we have 3 actually. We've got the Italian church over there, and the European church over here, and then this is to simulate the radio tower of Orsha, which in history basically both sides wanted because radio trucks were being targeted, and the only way to get your aircraft in was the radio tower of Orsha. So with that, we'll move into explaining deployment zones, and then the game will begin. Okay, so this is the German army for the defense of Orsha, led historically by Kurt von Tippelskirch. These are the 2 tigers, which were from the 505. You can kind of see a little bit the logo there. Then after that, we have 3 combat platoons, 2 of which are full-sized, all armed with Faust. The 3rd combat platoon is actually 2 squads, but because they're the smallest and the 3rd platoon, they're pioneers. We also have 2 heavy machine gun platoons. We have got 2 mortar platoons, 3 platoons of Pak-40s, because this is the 78th Sturm division. These are being proxied. These IG guns are actually going to be Pak-40s. So that's 2, 3, and 2. That's altogether 3 platoons. And then after that, we've got the Flak 88s for some anti-aircraft. We have got 30 cm Nebelwerfers. And last but not least, we have the gun crews of the 15 cm howitzers, which are going to be all the way at the back and at the base of Orsha's radio tower. Okay, so this is the Russian force coming in at 3,325 points, but without any respawns except for the sapper platoon. So with that, let's start. The 1 IC is a T-34-85. His first combat platoon is 5 T-34-85s, and then he's got 9 T-34-85s for the 2nd platoon with escorts. He has got 5 ISU 122s for some heavy gun support. He's got 3 Churchills with escorts, and finally he has got 5 SU 100s. So it looks like a really armored force going to be breaking into Orsha today. Then over here, for his infantry support, he has got the Spetsnaz. He has got the Zeiss 2 guns, 1 platoon, and the Zeiss 3 guns. And then part of our special mission we're playing today, we allowed a full platoon of 15 stands of sappers to join him for free. And these sappers will continuously respawn at objectives that he has taken or his deployment zone, whichever he has at the time. So with that, we'll move on to deployment, and we'll be back after that. Okay, so for defender deployment, over here, we have got the mortar team, which is going to be used for smoke. And the command team is over here in the building. Then after that, we've got a second platoon here, which are HMGs, which is over here, over here. Now, where the hell did the last guy go? There he is, hiding in the building. So we've got 2 HMGs on this side. And then after that, we have got a first combat platoon, which stretches from over here. They're all in the building, all the way until up to here. So they will defend the eastern flank. We have 1 platoon of Pack 40s, the command. And then over here, we've got the pioneers, which start from over here to go to over here. So with that, we have another platoon of Packs 40s over here, with the command in the center. The 2 Tigers from the 505 will be right there in the front to hold this objective from the enemies. And then on the other side of the table, we have got the HMGs again, with the command in the center, and another HMG on the 2nd floor of that building. And then the other full-size combat platoon with Fausts are lined up along the edges. So that's what they are supposed to do, to hold the ground. And then the pioneer platoon is over here, and the 2nd mortar platoon is over there, with its command in the building for spotting. And the rear part of the line will be empty, because when the German troops respawn, they should be respawning around here to hold the line. And the 2 objectives that we're trying to hold is this one on this side, and that one over there, along with the one at the back. So the rear line is defended by 2 Flak 88s, which would give air cover to pretty much the city center. And then finally, we've got 2 artillery platoons, one which is 3 30 cm super heavy rockets, Nebelwerfers, and finally 4 15 cm in-gun pits. So with that, we'll move to attacker deployment. Okay, so for attacker deployment, we have the Zeiss 3 guns on this flank, on the right flank, 3 of them. The sappers are deployed. The Churchills are deployed here. He has got his 9 T-34-85 platoon strung out along this edge, with the Su-100s strung out all the way as well to the end. And then on the other side, he's got 5 T-34-85s, and 5 ISU-122s, along with 3 Zeiss 2 guns. His Spetsnaz are starting embarked, yeah, and then these are his 15 stand sappers. So with that, I think we're ready to begin, and we'll see if Orsha falls by nightfall. Okay, so we're here after turn 1 for movements for the Russians. Basically everything has moved as far forward as they possibly can. The Churchills, the T-34s, the sappers, the Zeiss 3 did not move, neither did the Su-100s. You sure you don't want to move the 100s? Because we're all gone to ground and everything, so it might be good. Okay, so he's got cat killers on that, so he's probably just waiting for a shot. Spetsnaz, out of the half tracks, they've all come down to this point. And then over here we've got general advance in general, so that's what we've got. So let's just take a look from the radio tower, and you can see just how scary this would look. For the poor observer in here trying to tell people what to shoot at. Yeah, that's what he's looking at. He's looking at that. So when he's asked what to range in on, I don't think he's got a very easy job. Alright, so with that we move on to shooting, turn 1. Okay, so after turn 1 Russian shooting, basically all the ISU 122s and everything fired into my Pack 40 platoon. So that's the first platoon, first casualty of the day. The Pack 40 went down. The Spetsnaz and some of the other T-34s with all the MGs fired into the infantry didn't manage to pin them. And so with that, I think that's the end of the Russian turn 1, and we're going to German turn 1 now. We'll skip movement because there's nothing I'm going to move, and we'll go straight into Okay, so end of turn 1 Germans. The artillery managed to take out one IS-122 and bail one more. And then after that, the 2 T-34s were taken out by the Tigers at the front of the line. So with that, we're now moving to turn 2, top of turn 2, Russians. We'll be back after movement. Okay, so turn 2, Russian movement. General advance all along the sides. So everything has come up, and you can see the line between the two forces has kind of diminished, and the sappers are already at the barbed wire. So with that, we'll be moving to shooting phase, and we'll be back after that. Okay, so we're here after Russian turn 2 shooting. They have managed to remove one stand of infantry with the Spetsnaz firing. The T-34s and the ISU 122s tried to hit the buildings, weren't very successful with entrenched and all the other modifiers for their RF-1 guns. The sappers fired in. The T-34s on this side strafed this entire area but did not do very much. The Churchills as well. We did pretty well in saves, and the Spetsnaz have moved up to take the objective, and they have managed to pin down this platoon. So with that, we will be moving on to assault, and we'll be back after he chooses what he wants to assault. Okay, so we're here after the Russian turn 2 assault with the HMG and the Tigers over here. This Spetsnaz were pushed back. They took 2 casualties. And are they required to make motivation yet? Not yet, right?
No.
Yeah, not yet. Okay, so with that, that's the end of the assault phase.
Yeah.
And
One more assault.
oh wait, there's one more assault. Okay, what are you doing?
T-34. Nah, forget.
No, with all the Pack 40s there. Alright, so we'll be back to German turn 2 movement. He decided not to suicide his tanks. Okay, so after turn 2, German shooting, we've pretty much fired everything we could. The super heavy rockets, the 30 cm Nebs, did not fire this round. I'd like them to fire full salvo. The 15 cms ranged in on the 3rd attempt and bailed one ISU 122. The gunners managed to try and wipe out the sappers, the Spetsnaz platoon. We did 2 casualties, and we did another 4 casualties to the pioneers, the sapper platoon. And then the Pack 40s, the Tigers, these Pack 40s and everything tried to unleash a volley of death into the SU 100s, but their front armor is 9 and they managed to bounce almost everything. Sorry, they did bounce everything. This Churchill got bailed by the Pack 40 in the front here. So with that, it looks like by next turn the line will close and Orsha will be in trouble. So we go now to Russian turn 3. Okay, so we're here, turn 3, Russians, movement. Even the Zeiss 3 guns moved forward. The Churchills did not move because they're RF3, and the T-34s did. So they've moved around, and then the sappers have moved all the way up to touch the tank obstacle. The Tigers, there, staring them down. The platoon which survived the last round is now staring at Russian soldiers jumping the barbed wire again, and the T-34s over here have advanced all the way up. The Su-100s have stayed still because they are cat killers. The Zeiss-2 guns moved forward, and the ISU-122s moved but didn't move. Did they move? Did not move. So they're all RF-1 and breakthrough guns. So with that, we're moving to Russian turn 3 shooting, and it looks like it's going to be deadly. Going back. Okay, so here after turn 3 Russians shooting, the Churchills and the T-34s managed to take out both the Pak-40s with just MG fire, just the sheer weight of volume of shots. We also lost its command team, and then they tried to kill the HMG but didn't work. The sappers all moved forward in general advance and wiped out a HMG platoon, so that whole platoon is dead. And then these are the T-34s over here, wiped out the other Pak platoon on that side, which had only 2 stands left, with the ISU-122s needing 6s to hit. He hit twice and killed both Pak-40s. So with that, the special mechanism for this game is that of the 2 platoons that I lost, well, 3 in total, but every 2 platoons you lose, you choose 1 to come back, so I will choose the Paks. They will come back on the start of my next turn, after he's done with his assaults, which I do believe he will do. So with that, we'll be back after assaults, and okay, so turn 3 Russian assaults. The T-34s assaulted the left flank, and that caused 1 death in defensive fire for the Russians and 2 German infantry down. So with that, the platoon fell back on the second counter-attack, and they're waiting inside the building. The Russians decided to consolidate where they are. With that, he also tried his sappers to do a counter-attack over the tank obstacle into the Tigers, but failed to make that roll, that tank terror. So with that, we are done. Okay, so after turn 3 German shooting, the Pak platoon came back as part of this mission scenario, and we managed to bail 2 Churchills. Wasn't enough to do very much. And then over here, the Pak-40s and the Tigers managed to kill 3 T-34s, and artillery managed to bail 1. On the other front, we didn't do very much. We managed to gun down about 7 teams of the sapper platoon, and we managed to kill 1 T-34 and bail 1 more. So with that, we are now moving to turn 4 Russians. We'll be back after movement. Okay, so after Russian movement, turn 4, these tanks shuffled a little bit, and the T-34s, which previously won an engagement, have moved forward. So with that, we are now moving to shooting, and we'll see what the Russian player decides to do now. Okay, so after turn 4 Russian shooting, on this side of the board, the Russians did not manage to kill very much. Over here, he took 2 tight shots into the Tiger, missed. The Su-100s took shots into the Tigers and missed. The sappers managed to wipe out the last stand of infantry. On this side, the ISU-122s shot into the building and took out the 2 remaining stands there, and it looks like the tanks have made their way into Orsha. This team has failed its platoon morale and is gone. So part of the 2 platoons that I lost was 2 Pack 40 platoon and the infantry, of which I will choose to have the infantry back. So with that we move on to German turn 4, and we'll be back after. Okay, so for turn 4, German movement, the infantry infantry platoon that respawned in this area just moved up, and we're going to try and assault the tanks. And with that, it looks like we're moving to shooting, and we'll be back after that. Okay, so turn 4, German shooting. 15 CMs bailed 1 tank. Packs and Tigers took out the 1 IC as well as 1 more T-34. These Pack 40s on this side managed to kill 1 Churchill. And then with that, the MGs managed to kill... did you roll saves for these guys? 4 hits on the infantry save. So with that, we're moving to assault. 4 saves. 1 is it? Killed 1 stand. And then over here with the infantry, we're going to try to attempt to assault the Tigers, the T-34s. I'll roll my tank terror right now. Passes. Defensive fire. These guys will come up. 1, 2, 3. This guy can't see. Oh, this guy concealed. This guy will be concealed. Yeah. The rest are not concealed. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, they're pinned. 5? 6. Yep, they're pinned. Okay, so with the pinned assault phase, the Tigers will attempt to Stormtrooper. Nope, they do not Stormtrooper, so the side armor is revealed, and we'll be back after turn 5 Russians. Okay, so for turn 5 Russian movement, the T-34s moved forward, and that's all he did for movement. Spetsnaz is still holding the objective with the sappers in the front, and the T-34s moved forward to try and wipe out what's left of the infantry platoon. So we'll be back after movement and shooting. Okay, so turn 5 Russian shooting. The SU-100s have finally, with cat killers, destroyed 1 Tiger tank with 2+ firepower. This platoon over here has been wiped down to 2 stands. So let me just roll my motivation. Okay, they pass, they stay around, but they're pinned. And then over here, the Churchills and the T-34s have managed to kill 1 Pack 40. So with that, we now move to assaults turn 5 Russian shooting. Let's just see what it's like from the top here. That's the view that the observer and the 1 IC is being told. Orsha might just fall. Okay, so turn 5, Russian assault. he came in and wiped out what was left of this infantry platoon, and he's consolidated to within this objective. So Orsha is on fire. And over there in the center, the assault sappers, no, not assault sappers, normal sappers, tried to take out the tigers but failed at tank terror. So with that we move to German turn 5. Okay, so turn 5, German movement. The only thing that moved was the pioneers. They vacated the house and this area, and they dug in positions to try and help with the counter-attack on the Russian forces. And with that, we're moving to turn 5, German. Okay, so turn 5, German shooting. We have managed to bail one Churchill and kill the other. The Pax and the Tiger shot everything they had into the Su-100s and did one bail. The big artillery dropped on the 122s and did one bail. And with that, we move to assault phase, in which my pioneers will attempt to assault the tanks. For tank terror tests, they fail. So with that, it is now my opponent's turn 6 Russians, and he has taken his second objective, or rather it's being contested with against mortars. Not for long. Okay, turn 5, Russian shooting. 3 T-34s on the left flank managed to hit the mortars 3 times, but all 3 saved. The pioneers assaulted this building with a successful skill check in the movement phase and shot at these in the open, doing 1 hit, and I passed, so they saved. The Su-100s have finally completed their mission and taken out both Tigers. The T-34s rushed up to this building and opened fire on the HMGs, but failed their firepowers to kill it. So with that, that's the end of the shooting phase, and we're moving to turn 5 Russian assault. We'll be back after that. Okay, so the top of turn 5 Russian assault. The 3 T-34s assaulted the mortars. They killed 1 stand, and the rest counter-attacked, and they failed their motivation to counter-attack again, so they fall back. The other assault on the other end of the board is these 3 T-34s hit the gun team, the HMG team inside the building, and killed them. So with that, we're done with Russian turn 5 and moving to German turn 5. Okay, so turn 5, German movement. This infantry platoon has moved out of the buildings, and we're going to try and take out these T-34s, stop the advance. And then over there, the pioneers have gotten into the church and will be assaulting from the sides into the tanks. So with that, we are now moving into shooting, and we're back on. Okay, so for shooting phase, we killed 1 Churchill. Artillery killed another T-34. Pack killed 1 T-34. These 2 packs managed to kill 2 IS-122s, and the super heavy 30 cm Nebs killed 1 stand of infantry. In the assault phase, we tried to assault these tanks, passing tank terror, but against defensive fire, he killed all of them, or pushed them back. And this team failed its tank terror, so they'll stay where they are. So with that, we're moving to turn 6 Russians. Turn 6 Russian movement, not much left on the board for him. The Su-100s moved forward, general advance. And then on that side, the IS-122s also moved up, and the T-34 stayed where they are. So with that, we are now moving to shooting for Russians turn 6. Okay, so turn 6 Russian shooting. The T-34 shot through the building and killed one stand of infantry. The Su-100s did not kill anything.
ISUs.
The ISU-122s killed 2 units of the pioneers, 2 stands, and the T-34s managed to do nothing to the mortars. So with that, we move to okay, so turn 6 Russian assault. T-34s charged the mortars. Defensive fire couldn't do anything to them, so they automatically assaulted, and they killed one stand, and I failed the motivation to counter-attack. So with that, they've retreated. The T-34s now captured this objective, which put the Russians at a total of 2 objectives. And with that, we move to the next assault, which is the infantry into the Germans. Pioneers. So I get defensive fire of 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're pinned. You're pinned. Okay. With that, we'll move to German turn 6. Okay, turn 6 German movement. Pack 40 has moved out. Take a pot shot there. This Pack 40 doesn't move. Infantry are ready to assault once that's done. And this Pack 40 and this Pack 40 will just take shots over there later on, and so they didn't move. The pioneers are probably the only thing that are going to try and take the objective back from the Russians. Along with the mortars, they move to the side. But I just remembered gun teams can't assault, so it's just the command team that's gonna do that. So with that, we now move to shooting phase, and we'll be back after turn 6 German shooting. Okay, it's turn 6 German. It's quite devastating. Like a lot of tanks are dead. Eastern flank is okay. Western flank is collapsing, so we'll just go straight to that. We managed to kill the last T-34, 2 stands of infantry, 2 Su-100s, and with that we're moving to the final assault for the objective. 3 pioneers, past their tank terror, defensive fire, 12 shots. It's not going to end well. Doesn't matter, you're going to be in a Soviet later.
Oh, not too bad.
Oh my god! They made it!
They made it. 1 hit.
2 hits, 2 hits.
3.
3 hits.
3 hits.
Yeah, as long as we don't fail everything.
Fail.
Now just make sure someone survives. There we go.
All passed.
Pass.
All pass.
So 3 attacks at veteran, 2 hits at TA4 because they're pioneers, not Faust. So
Oh,
you
yeah?
3s.
3s. Pass.
Oh shit. Alright, counter attack.
So they take the 3, right? 2 down.
2 down. And then I need to make my counter attack. Pass. Hit.
Pass.
What? He keeps passing his saves. Alright, go ahead.
Done.
And that's the end of the pioneers.
Your pioneers or his pioneers?